a beard.
Yeah, he does. That's months and months of cultivation there. That's different. Yeah, but Nathan, the bearded man, is going to, I think he's going to be banking on a Johnny. In this Esper matchup, again, Planeswalkers are a nightmare. I hate Planeswalkers when I'm not playing them myself. They're a nightmare to play against. Luckily, Esper, of course, has Hero's Downfall, so you have an easy dispatching answer to that. How many detention sphere we got? We got 4 and 4.
We got in here. We've got 2 copies of Hero's Downfall, 4 spheres.
Okay, so we're 6 answers to Planeswalkers that are readily available. Not a bad spot to be in. So I think he's going to definitely have to save one for that because you'll see interaction with a Johnny and Mutavault. Pretty cool interaction. You get to keep your guys big through verdicts. You get to untap with your huge Mutavaults. You have the ability just to one punch knockout where you're just like double strike kill you. So it's definitely a tough card. I think after board we're going to see 0 Azorius Arresters in Nathan's deck. That's an easy card to board out. A limited Superstar card from back in the day.
Superstar, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Shut you down. Hey, I love Grizzly Bears Unlimited. And when they do things, I love those cards.
But won't touch one in Constructed.
Oh,
real
no.
Tough guy.
Real tough. I am a tough guy. I don't like to attack. See, I'm more of a pacifist, I guess you could say, if we had Magic personalities.
Okay.
I like to have a peaceful thing. And I only attack when I'm attacked against, you know?
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's self-defense. I'm definitely on the right every time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure. Now, if your opponent never attacked you, you would never attack them?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Draw go.
All right, but they always attack you.
They always attack me first.
So that's when you have to fight back.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it. This makes perfect sense now.
See, I'm a non-violent Magic player.
I'm going to watch one of your matches, and I'm going to hope that your opponent never attacks you, so you can't ever attack with, like, a Stoneforge Mystic or a Batterskull.
Yeah, I'll sit there with
Only when they attack you, it's like, all right, fine, let's do this.
Fine. Oh, Legacy doesn't count. It doesn't count.
Soldier of the Pantheon to start here for Zamora as Remelt played a Temple of Deceit and did a little scry action. Now, Soldier is one of the best threats against Esper because the Tension Sphere and a lot of other cards can't take care of it, but Doomblade is one that can get the job done. And you see Remelt is going to cast it immediately on his turn to make it so that Brave the Elements does not counter it, as here is a Dried Militant from Zamora.
Yep. I punted in the Invitational by waiting to Warleader's Helix and got blown out by that card.
Yeah, do not get hit by the Brave.
No, yeah. I was like, hey, this card, I don't even remember this card. But it's there. Right.
So you see another Temple, a Scry, and you can see Remelt's hand. He's got an Azorius Charm. He's got an Ultimate Price, which cannot take care of that Dried Militant. I believe there's a Detention Sphere hanging out as well, and then just a couple of lands. So nothing crazy happening here, as Zamora's going to come across for 2. Azorius Charm going to try to target the Militant. Brave the Elements says, I don't think so. And that's not the best use of Brave the Elements, but you cannot afford to lose a draw step in this matchup.
Right, yeah. And I mean, if you're countering a control spell with your card, you're probably doing it right. Especially when you're playing a deck that doesn't have the reach the red decks have. You don't have any burn, so you really just need to keep pummeling damage in. And like you said, you can't afford to draw the same card a couple times.
Jace, Architect of Thought off the top here for Remelt. He's going to play Godless Shrine untapped and go down to 16. Zamora just playing just playing Sacred Foundry and passing the turn back. So in comes the Jace. He's going to tick it up to 5, so the -1/-0 effect is here for this attack.
Yeah, I like plussing Jace nonstop. That's the card. That's what I want to do with Jace in the aggro decks, aggro mirror matches, or aggro matchups. Also against the black deck, a lot of people don't like plussing Jace because they're afraid of a Hero's Downfall. I say plus Jace, you better have it or else.
Yep.
And then you're in trouble if you don't.
You see Zamora is going to attack the Jace for 1 with the Militant, and then Boros Charm is going to take care of the Planeswalker.
Yeah.
In Elspeth.
What a good draw. That's a fantastic draw. And Shane doesn't mind getting his guy Boros Charm, because that Boros Charm can kill anything pretty much. It hurts Elspeth or threatens it as well. So you wanted to get those kind of cards out of their hand.
Attack for 2 from the Militant. Going to knock Remelt down to 14. Again, you see his hand of Ultimate Price. He's got that Detention Sphere, and he has an Elspeth. So Zamora going to tap some mana. There's a frontline medic. Going to pass the turn back. Ultimate Price is going to take care of that, and if you're Zamora, you have to fade a land now. Sphinx's Revelation
Not
on
a
top.
bad one.
That's kind of like fading a land.
He should definitely do this main phase too. And this is, all right, he's going to use Detention Sphere here. I don't like this. The reason why you want a Sphinx's Revelation main here is because you have so many coming to play tap lands that if you draw your land for turn, it's coming to play tapped, then you can't play Elspeth the next turn.
Sure.
So a lot of people, and I see this on camera all the time, people are afraid to cast their instance on their turn. Just do it. I mean, you're not going to bluff anybody. You know, your aggro player is just going to continue. Look, he just jammed a Johnny. Oh, you got a counter spell? Let me see it.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. You don't got it. So if Shane hits no untap land here, he's going to be in trouble.
Well, Zamora going to come across for 3 now. That's going to knock Remelt down to 11. Remelt's going to go up to 13 for a Revelation for 2. But I'm with you because he wants to draw a land anyway, so even if he draws like a Watery Grave, he would rather put it in play tap instead of paying 2.
Exactly.
Which is exactly the land that he did draw. I'm from the future, in case you didn't know
saw that. Yep, and here we go. So now if we want, I mean, he's going to play the 10 sphere here, but this is only because he played a Johnny.
Sure.
But we didn't know he had a Johnny. So again, if he didn't play that a Johnny, you would be taking 2 damage for no reason. It's just better to do these Revelations on your turn.
And now Zamora is going to finally slam down Burning Earth, and now he's going to attack. Now, Remelt's going to take 1 to Azorius Charm this back to the top of the deck, but this is, I think Zamora had that Burning Earth in his hand for a little while, and he was setting that up for a little while here.
Yep.
So he could fully punish you, trying to bait out Attention Sphere. Maybe he had the read that Remelt had an Attention Sphere in his hand. Either way, now if Remelt casts Elspeth, he's going to have to pay the price to do this.
I think he still do it, though. I think it's hard to lose with Elspeth in play.
Well, he's going for it. He's going to take 5. He's going to go down to 7, will Remelt, and he is going to cast the Planeswalker. And this card can be good enough to get it done by itself.
Yes, yes. And this is the only thing I would want to tap all my lands for, short of like maybe an Aetherling, because this is how you beat these aggro decks. You pretty much board out cards that are, these early threats, and you have Elspeth. That's my game. You got an answer for it. You don't, then you're going to lose.
Yeah. Now Zamora needs to. Now what Zamora needs to do is he needs to.
Oh,
he's got Glare of
there we
Heresy.
go.
Wow, so that's actually pretty good. Zamora actually boarding in answers to these problematic cards. Here's a Dryad Militant. You see Zamora's going to take 1 from the Mutavault, of course, to cast that Glare of Heresy, but now Militant's in play, and now Remelt is in this situation where he can't cast out his spells, and he's already used the Detention Sphere. Water Grave off the top, Jace Architect of Thought, he would have to take 3 to even cast that.
Yeah, and here's the benefit, again, of Blue-White Red when you're talking about which control deck to play against, or play, because you play more basics, and not because you have, not because of choice, it's because you don't have as many Scry lands.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the freedom now. You're free to play 6 islands in your deck, which is what I play. Here, with this 1 Plains in play, Shane can't really do anything until he draws the Detention Sphere. It's just not worth it. He's just going to have to say go until he draws one.
Yeah, and obviously if you're Zamora, that's the position that you do want to be in. Now, Diamonds2323 on Twitter, Shaheen says that he thinks that playing with your lands in front like this should be illegal. Your thoughts?
Illegal? No.
Put a ban on that.
Ban on lands in front. Now, I think, in Magic, we got a few hipsters here. We saw all the white bordered mountains last round. Remember that?
We did.
As you referred to them as hideous.
Yeah, from Joe Lissette, yes.
And now you have the lands this way. If you've ever seen Adrian Sullivan play on camera, his
upside down and all around.
Yeah, upside down. So, people want to be known for playing their spells a little bit wacky.
Paulo Vitor Domodorosa plays his lands in front, spells in the back.
He does.
And it's worked out pretty well for him.
Yeah,
not bad. Jace Architect of Thought here, -2. 2 lands in the Sphinx of Revelation as Zamora's trying to figure out how to split this. Certainly an enviable position right now because that Jace activation doesn't really do very much.
No, not at all.
He says, you can have these lands in this Revelation. I don't really mind either way. And it looks like Remelt is reaching for the Revelation.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Revelation, you can actually gain the life and offset it because the triggers go on the stack when you tap the land, and you can get the mana and then gain the life before you take the damage. I'm pretty sure, right?
No, it's kind of an active player. Yeah, it does work that way. I think it's an active player, non-active player thing. No, it doesn't work. Okay, so it's just, you tap the lands, the activations go on the stack, and then you actually cast the Revelation.
Yeah.
That resolves, you gain your life, and then the Burning Earth triggers.
Exactly,
resolve.
yeah. You can actually, I think online I tapped my lands, and I was taking damage going to -2, but I Warley or Helix my opponent to gain the life to go back up so it wouldn't kill me. So
okay.
Yeah, you can do cool things like that. So it's not game over per se. However, the Burning Earth against Esper, that's where you want to be.
This is an enviable position. He just needs a much more durable threat out there than that stinky Dryad Militant, that's all.
Yeah.
Boring old 2-1 out there.
I don't know what Nathan has. If he draws a Boros Charm, obviously the game's over. But that's the only reach that he really has. Brave the Elements is not too bad here either, because it lets your creature get through those tokens. However, it's up to Shane right now to see if he can dig his way out of this.
Yeah.
Nathan has eventuality here. He will win if Shane does not draw the 10 sphere pretty soon.
The other thing here for Zamora is, again, he just wants to kind of make sure that he has a game plan moving forward. He's going to take 1. And he might have something like an Ajani in his hand. He's got Spear of Helios, so that's going to make Militant into a 3-2, and he's going to attack with this. And I kind of like this deck because basically what he's saying is, you can trade 2 guys to get rid of my Giant Militant, which I'm okay with,
yeah.
And then my Mutavault can start coming into the red zone.
Yep.
So you see the attack. There is the double block. So Militant's going to bite the dust. Spear and Burning Earth are in play, and Remelt is going to get to safely untap here with a Jace. Draws another Jace, and does have Revelation.
So I think you sacrifice your Jace here, try to hit the Detention Sphere, and if you do, you're in good shape. You can actually shank and come back from this. But definitely throw the Jace in the bin here. He's asking about, I bet, yep, he's asking about the Revelation now. He's pointing at his lands. I think, if I were to guess, he was asking about how he can stack this and survive, or if he's allowed to. But here, let's just -2 Jace first, because you want to see if there's a Detention Sphere on top. Don't even bother doing anything else, because if you hit that Detention Sphere, you're good to go.
Yeah, you probably want to start with the information. Get as much information as you can. I mean, he might want to start. It seems like to me he maybe wants to take up Jace, and that's exactly what it is. He goes up to 3.
Ooh, but he can now, if Nathan wants, he could kill Jace. I don't think he will, but
sure, with the triggers from the Burning Earth.
yeah,
okay.
I think he's just want to dig. 'Cause he has a second Jace in his hand, so it doesn't really matter. The Jace +1's not going to do too much.
3, 4, 5, 6 non-basics.
Yeah, he's stacking all of them.
7.
Leaving one open.
Yeah, so leaving one man open. Very.
No.
Okay,
no.
yeah. If I'm gonna rev, I'm gonna do it for it all.
Yeah.
All right.
So he's gonna net gain. Let's see. He's gonna take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but he's gonna gain 6. So he's gonna net lose 1 life.
Okay.
Okay. No. Sorry. Net lose 2 life. He's only getting 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Okay. Got it. 3, 5. All right. Blood Baron among those cards.
Problem with this now, you can't Detention Sphere now. He's gonna be at 2.
Yeah, unless he draws a basic.
Yeah, that's why I don't like this play at all.
There's your Scry land. You take a look at Remelt's deck list. As far as basics are concerned, 4 islands, 3 planes, so he does have 7.
Yeah.
He needs to draw one. As Zamora quickly untaps and draws his card. Mutavault going to come into the red zone. Going to be a lethal attack. Of course, the Jace activation here. But the Soldier's going to get in the way. Zamora quickly moves his lands over, so it looks like he's got a follow-up creature to play. Obviously, if you've got a Boros Storm, he would just cast it and the game would be over.
Yeah.
And the follow-up creature is going to be a Precinct Captain past the turn back.
Yeah, Shane, I mean, I don't, and there's, see,
there's the Sphere.
Disaster situation.
Yeah.
I don't want to be right in this situation because I actually am rooting for Shane to win. But if he would have sacrificed a Jace and then done it for enough so he can actually cast a Detention Sphere, he would have gone to 1, get rid of that thing, and then he would just win the game by playing a Blood Baron. That'd be it. So now, instead of winning here, he has to hit a basic land. There we go.
Ha!
Okay.
Ha!
Rewarded anyway.
Oh.
All right.
So rev to the bottom.
He has another rev in his hand, I think, too.
Okay. There's a basic land. Remelt says, I'm going to 1. Do you redirect to the
No.
No? Okay.
I don't think so. I think you just do it to him and just hope he draws something.
And now the Baron is coming out to play.
Yep.
Oh, boy. So now there's a Blood Baron. Remelt has played a land already, so Zamora quickly untaps. Wonder if he has a Mysium Mortars in his hand. He's going to play Sacred Foundry untapped very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Going to go down
Dragon?
to 15.
Is there a Dragon coming out? Is that in his deck?
And he's going to play Mortars.
And that's game over. Now, the Blood Baron, after you play Precinct Captain, I probably wouldn't have played the Blood Baron because you could Revelation and be a little bit safer. But I think that's lethal anyway. I would have had to crunch the numbers there.
Yeah, he's attacking for 6 with Spear of Heliod's in
Yeah,
play.
I think it would have been lethal anyway.
So Nathan Zamora does defeat Shane Remelt 2-1. Boros Aggro, a carbon copy of what Ben Lundquist used to win Star Stadium's Open in Los Angeles, does defeat Esper Control. Part of the reason that Ben did choose to play that deck last weekend is because he felt that Boros Aggro was very, very well positioned to beat Esper, to beat Mono Black Devotion, and it looks like that's holding true this weekend as well.
And again, Blood Baron, best card against aggro you could possibly have.
Yep.
However, everybody knows you have it. Everybody's going to bring in Mysium Mortars against you. So it's like you slam the card that cannot be defeated, and then it gets defeated.
Yep.
And that's, again, why when you're playing answers in control decks, you need cards like Freakish Cure, because there's no hate they can answer that for. You know, you're going to kill the guy, you're going to gain 2 life, and it seems not as impressive. It's not as, attractive, it's not as cute, but it does what it needs to do.
Yep.
It gets your life total back up. It negates the shock land you've done to yourself. And at the end of the game, you're stabilizing around like 5 or 6 life instead of 2 or 3 life after a couple of those. And something that's missing from all these Esper lists that Brad would agree with me on is a trading post.
Sure.
Trading post is a 4-mana planeswalker, and it reads pay 1, tap it, gain 4 life. Who cares about discarding a card? Look at his hand. How many cards do you have in your hand when you're playing Esper at the end of the game?
Sure.
100 cards. Who cares? Discard whatever. So